Is this thing on? Can you hear me? Is anybody out there? Hey, tune in. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the homie Big Hank. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the co-host Big Hank. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. Everybody tune in, you dig it? It's funny as hell, my dude. It's where we can kick it. Everything is going down. They about to do the most. It ain't a confrontation, it's a conversation, homie. Yo, on the weekends, Roy.
What it do? What it do? What it do? Once again, this is comedian Roy Anthony. Welcome to the Roy Anthony Show. As everyone knows that my two co-stars will be popping up here, Cynthia Joi, Arthur, motivator, public speaker, stand-up comedian. Then we got my man Big Hank, who'll be coming in, other co-star, celebrated collegiate athlete, national stand-up comedian, head deacon, belief in God. You know, we all three, you know, got a relationship with God. You know, I am Roy Anthony, representing on the platform of the WO Entertainment, which was a platform that was created to bring awareness to how our veterans who serves in the military, we have veterans at 22 suicides a day. That's the rates. And we know that other people, we would love to prevent from committing suicide, but this platform was created, and it was created by Richie King, aka Redneck Pimp, along with the co-creator Goose. And then we have our social producer, Blue Phoenix and Athens, and our sponsors, Matthew Brooks. They make sure everything is running, bills is taken care of, and everything. Now, everybody knows, you know, I'm always been here in this little studio because we've been building on the studio where we're going to be able to have the guests coming in. We're still going to be live through the internet, where people can, I know some people's at work, some areas of the United States. Some people let me know, be like, hey man, we be watching you at lunchtime. Some people have us in the restaurants and the bars. So we just talk about humanity. You know, sometimes we have to bring up the history, because if you don't know your history, then it could affect your future. And one of the things about America is that we're constantly striving to progress. That's my hope. That's what I be thinking, that we're constantly trying to progress, to correct wrongs. And even though it's a tedious process, if you look at other countries, they sometimes are based on the same type of scenarios for hundreds of years and ain't talking about no change up. Even though they got the internet and the cell phones, they're not going to do the same things as how America, we're constantly trying to evolve into what we're trying to be is the great. You know, sometimes we get groups that believe that they are the hands of God and can put punishment and everything up on people, you know. And so our subject since Tuesday, the day is Thursday, matter of fact, it's December the 1st, 2022, last month of the year. And I'm grateful to God because I think all of us had someone that we knew or in our family, or you heard someone who had passed away from the COVID. And sometimes it got me when other people would break out statistics where other people died from natural flus as well. And my biggest thing is that anytime there's a famine, of diseases and stuff like that, we have other countries that are actually dying from starvation still. And we was concerned about uh, some virus, and it was causing a division because you got people who believe in wearing a mask, and some people didn't want to wear a mask. And I feel like the people who want to wear masks then go around the people who's wearing masks. Why you walk around to other people with no mask and trying to make them feel bad? Then the people who didn't wear masks was making people who wore a mask feel bad. You know, to me, that's we too busy trying to rule over how somebody else should be. That's how I think. We rule about how someone should dress when they going into a spot. I'm a civil designer, and I was with this one lady, and she was tripping about how I would go to work in jean outfits and stuff. And her mindset that with me being a civil designer by trade, that I was supposed to dress a particular way. So I go to work dressed in one day I had braids in my hair at the time, and I picked my hair out. I said I'm gonna go to work, try to dress like the other people, put on some khaki pants and some penny loafers, wore a polo shirt. I took my braids down and washed my hair and patted it down. So I go to work, and the project manager calls me to the office, and he's really upset. And I'm thinking to myself, oh boy, what did I do? And so we go, he said, shut the door. White guy. So I shut the door. He said, what's going on, Roy? So I said, what you mean, what's going on? I messed something up. And he said, no, I ain't talking about your work. I'm talking about this. Are you trying to dress and fit like everyone else? And I was confused. And he said, where's your braids? Where's your jean outfits? That's why we hired you, because we like the diversity and we like how you are. And I was like, wow. I'm listening to other people, and I'm the one who got this position being me. I'm letting someone else mindset telling me how I should conduct myself. I heard him went home and got my hair rebraided and put on my jean outfit and went to work, because I had shown to different firms that I'm good with my mindset and how to work the computers to draw plans. Now, our subject is about facing the fears. Well, I'll start a little bit. Here's one of our co-stars. She's in the house. Hey, what's up, sis?
What's up,
Hey,
Sugarfoot Sweet Face? How you doing?
yeah, I'm doing great. I was like, she'll be in a minute. I'm
You
constantly
already
trying to
know
hold it
stroke
down.
problems. I had to be in the bathroom. I had problems happening.
Boy, hey, look here. Sometimes there's some information that needs to be listened. I don't know why I feel
Listen,
so closer to you now. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Yeah, as y'all know, the Roy Anthony Show, we have evolved. Some people's worked out. It's nothing about you. But Cynthia Joy, Hank, and myself have really found the commonality. I've done had so many comments about how they love some Cynthia Joy
what?
all the time. It was like that
How?
was one of the best decisions you done had. I'm not lying, because you exemplify our our queens, our sisters here in America. Not saying others didn't, because we want people to be themselves. But
Right,
sometimes some things just don't fit a little bit.
right. Now everybody don't fit together all the time.
Exactly. I look forward, I lie you not, I be looking forward to Cynthia Joy, and then when Big Hank comes in, we know he does stuff for the church. I'm still laughing
What?
at the pansexual episode.
That episode was lit.
I'm gonna tell you something. You said something that I hadn't even thought about, and I've been laughing about it ever since. How these
What part?
doctors are changing these men into, to women,
Uh-huh.
but they can't put in the fallopian tubes and, and they definitely can't give fillings.
Right.
You know, see, people understand now dealing with feelings. This is where we was tackling the subject again about facing fears.
Right.
Now, you and I and Big Hank, look how I talk like that. You and I and Big Hank, I did that properly. He'll be proud. But we spoke about fears of like things that we dealt with, like going on the stage and speaking on like that. But the past 20, I would say 36, 48 hours since the show, I started thinking about the fears of people have when they don't want to speak up or afraid of like what's going on now.
Yeah.
The NBA kind of used Kyrie Irving as an example of a movie that now I dig into stuff.
Right.
Okay. Amazon has a movie called Hebrews to Negroes.
Okay.
And Kyrie Irving, only thing he did was shared out the link
Okay.
to be able to get the movie from Amazon, where he was suspended for 8 games without pay. Now, when he returned, over 1,000 something black Israelites dressed in the purple and gold was marching around the Barclays Center. I've watched this video about 100 times. I couldn't understand why I kept watching it. And then I realized I didn't see no police beating up on no blacks.
Uh-uh.
Every time I've seen isolated incidents, it's like 5 or 6 of them on one person.
Yeah.
But now you got 1,000 of them, and I didn't see. Hey, now we ain't gonna be having none of this. You guys get away from here now.
Right.
I'm just saying is, you know, so celebrities now are in fear of saying something because they don't want to lose certain clout or certain monetary lifestyle that they're used to.
Right.
So some people, they call them different names and scratch the surface, where we call some people untouchables. Now, with me, who's lived in a society where the person in the black and white car seems to have some control because they can take me to jail. Therefore, I don't try to commit crimes. But I don't stop stop me if I'm walking. I had one time I was walking down Long Beach and he pulled up. He had some little junior teenager dude trying to show off for him. He's like, hey man, go on with that. There ain't no harassment today, bro. I'm not into that. Go on about your business. I don't have to answer you about nothing. If there's no crime called, go on about your business.
Mm-hmm.
So then I looked at that. Then is that a fear? I hear people say, you got good cops and bad cops. But
Yeah.
the good cop don't tell on or say something about the bad cop because he's scared of where somebody else, Jimmy Earl, sat up there and told and he got fired. So now go ahead.
That ain't no different than it being good people and just bad people in general. The good people don't usually tell on the bad people because we was taught snitches get stitches. So I mean, it kind of ain't no different. You know what I mean? It's a fear of what society gonna think. Just like them cops have a fear of what other cops may think or what may even happen to them if they tell, because a lot of people get abused once they open their mouth. So unless they're ready for the backlash, they have to have a almost a strength to be able, the courage to be able to deal with whatever come their way and have the ability to tell. But people just don't because of that I guess natural fear.
And you said something. You were so on point,
What
Cynthia,
I said this time.
about the snitching. See, I remember when Carmelo Anthony, the NBA player, he's a
Yeah,
great
yeah.
player. When he first came into the NBA, he was with some rappers promoting that snitches get stitches.
Mm-hmm.
So our society, especially our blacks, not saying all, are influenced by the rappers and the glitter and
But no, I can't say that. I would say our community personally, we're influenced by our parents. Because think about when we were kids and we couldn't be tattletales, as it was called. You couldn't go tattletale on your sibling or whatever. You had to.
you better tell that to my brother. My young brother tell every
I mean, the
I,
babies all did it. I think every baby
yeah,
that
but I'm
ever
just
did it. But
so you was telling like a mug.
oh hell yeah, I told, and that's why my
But
sister
see,
got me drunk.
okay,
Like I'm
but we
tired of
have to but we have to come to an understanding what is look. Well, I'm glad you said that. I knew a family. They was like living between Watts and Compton.
okay.
And they was all promoting that and whatever until someone in their family members got murdered. Now they all out, I need someone to come out. No, you was just promoting that.
Uh-huh.
And so then we take it to a part. See, there was a guy I knew, a roommate of mine. He was raping elderly women. I didn't know. He would come in with scratches on his face, and he told me he was in the martial arts.
Okay.
And one day I asked him, I said, what they do? Hit you with the 3-claw thing? Because he had scratches. He said he was in the martial arts fighting club.
Mm-hmm.
So me and him, we was roommates for a minute, and then I went about my way. And 4 years later, police coming up to my job. He turned out to be the Night Stalker that was raping elderly women. The youngest was 65, over 150 women in a 10-year. I didn't know nothing about
Wow.
that. So I ain't worried about I'm not a snitch, but I had to go testify.
Yeah.
And people can look up the public records. Roy Walters, the dude's case, Robert Lee, whatever. You can look his case up, public records. I'm in the court stated that if he was on doing drugs and stuff, I wouldn't be in here. I'm not into that. I don't, that if you out there hustling and you're making your money and stuff, I've been around a lot of different captains like that.
Right.
But when you're raping elderlies and kids,
That's crazy.
because I told him, his defense lawyer drilled me, said, well, did you ever see him do it? I said, ma'am, if I seen him doing it, he ain't on trial. I'm on trial for murder.
Facts.
Now, people can pull it up on my you know how they got public records, open public. Please look that up. I wasn't awarded or nothing. I thought about my auntie and other people's aunties and stuff, and he was sneaking into people's homes and stuff.
So
I
how
didn't know.
you find out?
I beg your pardon?
How you find out?
The police came to my job. He was all on the news and stuff. What happened was he was breaking people's homes. So if a person's in there, they call it aggravated burglary. You're broken their home. So what they do is when you get arrested on a felony, they give you a swab, DNA check.
Okay.
He made bail, but next thing you know, 3 days later, police and stuff I heard was all on those trees and everything. His DNA matched to 165 rapes from 96 to 2006. I didn't know nothing about it. I didn't
So
even, we were only roommate for about a year, sharing an apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment. And I knew some, so someone asked me, well, are you scared to go to court? And I was like, no, I'm not scared to go to court to get this derelict off the streets. And I told him in court, I'm doing you a favor because with me finding this out, see, he's already locked up. You feel me? Because if I found out, if I was on, I'm telling everybody, I would have been on a murder case because I am strictly against abuse of children, raping of women, period, and elder abuse. I'm against those. Totally. I'm not caring about no politics. I tease about that stuff because whoever's in, they're going to have these laws. They ain't changed no charters anyway. So but if you're abusing, if I call somebody trying to cripple a kid, the police be like, why is he beat so bad? He's still alive. To be able to face whatever you got for him. You call it a public arrest. I call it a public butt ass.
Right.
Now I stand for that. I stand for humanity. I stand for, children are innocent. They could be hard-headed and so they little kids. They trying to fit. It doesn't mean that they got to be sexually exposed and put into situations.
And speaking, you just made me think of something because you're talking about kids right now, and I wanted to say something because you just said something when you talked about kids being innocent. And one of the things that bothers the hell out of me is when people be like, that kid bad as hell. Kids not bad, they curious.
That's all.
And if you're not putting no time and no energy into teaching them and like giving them real one-on-one time, they gonna get into things. And they might destroy some stuff because you're not putting no time and effort into them. But that bothers me when people be like, kids are bad. Kids ain't bad. It's the person who's raising a kid that's bad.
Kids are
the time they need.
Yeah. If you went to a new country or another country, like right now, I've learned that, not saying I'm not making a joke, but I've learned something from Brittany Griner's situation. You don't go to Russia and try to think you're going to go to Russia or come out of Russia with some vapes. Hey, look here. They gave her 9 years and they said they sent her to the hardest colony in Russia. And she's a superstar.
That's crazy.
Let you and I win a trip to Russia. Yeah, I'm going to check it out.
That is crazy to me. It's like it's so much more bigger things for us to be concerned and worried about and putting people in jails and some vapes.
But this Russia, she came out there knowing better. Now you and I, if like you and I, we got a trip to Russia.
I ain't taking shit to Russia.
And so you had your blunt. They come, it's like, oh, we found some weed.
No, you won't.
I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna be like, well, Cynthia, I'm gonna try to see what I can do, but I can't.
You'll be saying it to somebody else because, well, Cynthia know better. Cynthia go with some edibles. I go with some tea. I go with the stuff that's like regular candy. They ain't gonna know what's going on.
Not no.
We having no problems. I ain't smoking no smoke because I don't want no smoke. You keep the smoke.
I'm telling you, you better go to one of them where they got the places where they got the pipe things that go, you know what I'm saying, where they got hookah. You better go to that hookah lounge and hit whatever they hitting.
Right, for real.
You get home and then be like, "Ooh, Lord."
And you don't want to hear what they hitting either, though. You don't know what the hell in them pipes.
They got her 9 years for having 2 vape cases.
She should just wait till she got to the crib. That was crazy.
But she know that now. It's like Richard Pryor when he went to the judge.
9 years too late.
Wait, when Richard Pryor went to the judge about his taxes, he told the judge, he said, "Well, Honor, I didn't know that." And he said, "You'll know next time, nigga." And it made every other person who say, "I want to go visit Russia for the architecture and the culture and everything," you better leave your stuff at home. You better check the guidelines.
Listen, I'm not going out the country with nothing because it's out the country. Our laws don't apply over there.
Yeah.
So I'm not about to play with them people.
Look, people thought I was playing about going to some of these third world countries to visit if it's black dominant. And I said, only why I wouldn't visit them, because I don't want to get mixed up with some body they looking for. And they like, "Oh, we got you finally, Kaluba Cop. How about?" I said, "No, man, my name is Roy. My name is Roy." "No, we know you changed your voice." So I was making that as a joke. Well, it just happened last week. Blacks going to visit over there in Haitian. Can't get back over to the U.S.
Man, listen.
You don't know. You look like, yeah, you can change up everything. You got a voice box. You done learned how to talk like an American.
It's a doppelganger everywhere. You know,
feel
don't do it. Don't do it. It ain't even
Don't do it. And see, that would be a fear of mine to go to another country. To be found that.
You know what? It was a fear of mine to go to another country. I was afraid to get trafficked. Seriously, because I was about to go to Jamaica by myself for my birthday. Then I was like, no, I'm going to cancel it because I don't want to go by myself because human trafficking is real. And as handy capable as I think I am, they're going to be like, "Come here, capable bitch." And they go.
Yeah. Or you wake up in a hotel with your kidney gone.
Right.
That just happened to a lady.
Or the one good leg I got, they take away. I ain't playing.
Yeah. Measure you up with your kneecaps and look. For real.
Or they take my teeth or something. I ain't know.
This lady, California, went down to El Salvador or something to meet this guy. They had been meeting online, and she thinking that they got a real love affair because they met through the computer. She goes down there for her family to find out she was killed and all her organs gone.
What?
Yeah, they took all her organs.
Wow.
Yeah, we need them. Go and grab that liver too. Grab the heart.
The black market her organs.
For real.
Wow. That's crazy. But I don't put it past nobody, and that's a fear. You know what I'm saying? But that's why, like you said, you got to have, the only fear is God. But the fact of the matter is we human, and we just have natural fears sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But
okay, now I'm glad you said that. I want to, before we go into that, I want to show this video for everybody.
All right.
Nephew Michael has just been, now this is one of our good partners in our crew, Linwood Finest. We all Linwood, Compton, and Long Beach always comes together. And I've showed this video before, but this video reached top 10 in the spiritual hip hop music. Matter of fact, it beat out in the top 10 category. There's Kanye West has a song in their hip hop gospels, rap song, and Rihanna is like 3 or 4. Michael Netherly, our group, and I'm showing the video, ranked number 1 for the past months. This is called Jesus is Real. I'm going to share this.
going on, man? How you doing this morning?
I'm doing good, Dick. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Hey, listen, we want to know if we can shoot a video here at the churches I know.
Is it going to glorify God?
Of course,
All right.
of course. Now, is there anything we can or cannot do at the church?
As long as you recognize that Jesus is real, it's all good.
I got you, man. We
We
gonna make
can't,
sure that happens.
Pastor Williams.
Yo, man, something going on in front of the church. What's going on?
Yeah, man, my Jesus is real, man. I'm gonna tell you what he brought me through.
Big Hank.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Nephew Michael.
Uh-huh. Jesus is real, sincere with the gratitude. I used to be the dude walking around with the attitude. Now I'ma keep
My
it
man,
real,
Perry.
tell you just what he brought me through. Been shot 5
Perry.
times and they thought they had got me too. Now I can take you back to my days on Figueroa. When I had him on the streets, man, I had him on the corner. Came up and bought a house and I moved out to Corona. From the package I was slinging all the way to Arizona. Now Jesus is real, he done brought me through it all. And took a couple lows, I done took a couple falls. That even hit the pen, me mugging through them halls. And just to get the child, I had to walk you through the fall. Now I can tell you, man, it's all gonna be real. The only way I'm here is, man, I had to take the deal. Now I can take my time and I can tell you how I feel. My Jesus is the only way, I got to keep it real.
Jesus is real. Jesus is real.
Roy Anthony gonna be popping up.
Linwood, Long Beach. This for Ricky Harris. I was born with a bad hand. A bad man didn't know about it back then. God's plan. I once attempted suicide. It didn't work. Then it had to be a reason, cause his grace gave me work. I done been on my deathbed. Gunshots, couldn't see the devil coming cause my mind's on rock. On my way to doing life for a bag and a murder. Seen the tears in my baby's eyes. She was hurt, so I got on my face begging God for his favor. I heard the homies laughing, so I prayed with my neighbor. I done enough dirt in the streets and I don't really wanna deal with the soap that I reap. Ricky Harris said it all one night at the church. Me and Hank both smiled, not knowing it would hurt. I called the homie home, but I never forget that man. Blessed me in the church and the death comedy jam.
Jesus is real. Jesus is real. Jesus is real. Jesus is real. Can't nobody tell.
I used to keep the banger on me, feeling I was untouchable. I stayed fitted to get it, yeah, like Heathcliff Huxtable. Cruising down the street in my 6'4". I walked the edge of the razor in pursuit of my dough. I was ruthless, I kept it rocking to the right side. My son had the east, so ain't a thing I won't try. This lifestyle I lived, it led to prison and back. I was feeling persecuted, yeah, like John the Baptist. My mama used to ask me, boy, when you gon' quit it? At the same time praying for me, hoping I get it. My soul was heavy burden, I was short on faith. One night I heard the voice of God and I saw his son's face. I started praying for myself and got strong in the Lord. And now I reap a better harvest, way bigger than before. I wear the armor of the Father, ain't no need for a gun. Cause I'm protected by the blood, cause now I'm walking with his son.
Jesus is real. Jesus is real.
My cameo's coming up.
Rest in peace.
Roy
What's up
Anthony.
with you, Mike? What's going on?
What's
man?
up, Big Hank?
Man, I can't call it.
What's happening with you, homie?
Everything good, man. You remember the testimony night?
Man, that night with Ricky Harris at that church,
Man, that's still on my mind heavy, man.
that blessed me, homie. When I seen y'all pull off, homie, I was just like, man, it just seemed like he was an angel already, man. He
was.
said God is real.
That's what he did say, God is real. Yeah.
Yep.
That's what's up. I dig
Roy
that.
Anthony make this appearance.
Jesus is real.
You see Roy Anthony make his appearance.
I peeped you. Come through with the come
They call
through
me,
like
I
what
walk
it
like
do.
a shadow. I walk like a shadow. I got so much love, and they support me and stuff. We've been around each other for years, and
That's what's up.
and so I've been having some of them on our show. But let me tell you why I showed that. So anybody knows about Long Beach, there is no blood sets in Long Beach. And Perry and them have no fear. to come and make a video where showing that Crips and Bloods got to come together. You feel me? That's why they say Jesus is real. Now anybody knows the significations. Now the fearful thing would somebody like, well, I ain't gonna be there at the video, man. You know what I'm saying? It was young and old there. We had the whole block. Nobody was complaining. Just like I didn't have fear on doing, that was done in Long Beach. Can I show one more video? You mind, Cynthia, showing that up there? I want to show this right quick, if you don't mind.
Hey, what's up with everybody? This is comedian Roy Anthony, like you didn't know. And I know I was just talking to you, and I was looking pretty good, too. Now, one of the things what we want to discuss is that you ever notice when you look at a dollar bill or any type of money, it's always telling you what it says, like, okay, $100 bill. It says on here, this note is legal tender for all debts, public and private. Well, guess what? There's always the pros and cons for everything, because public sales and private sales are not the same. You may not understand what I'm talking about. Once you come with me, I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. Okay, notice we're here at Tito's Bakery. This is for public sales. I'm going to go order some food using my money because it says that I can use this dollar for public and private sales, right? So I'm gonna go order me something and check this out. Now I just came out of Little Tito's and I ordered 2 tacos, right? But look, he gives me a burrito. Guess what I can do with my dollar? I can go back in there and get my right order. Watch what I do. Hey man, I told you to get. Yeah man, I paid my money, man. You pay your money, you supposed to get what you want. Now I ordered 2 tacos and he gave me a burrito, and guess what? I went in there and was able to get my 2 tacos. That is for public sales. Now, let's see what happens when we use the money for private sales. Now, we've already seen how public sales are, right? Now, let me show you how private sales is totally different. But you remember what it says on the bill. It says, this note is legal tender for all debts, public and private, right? Now, I have an associate who has come to deal with me for some private sales. Won't you come with me? I'll show you what I'm talking about. Now what I did was, I just purchased a dub bag of Kush, right? And I'm gonna check my product and, wait a minute. This ain't no dub bag of Kush. This a nickel bag of stress. Man, now watch what happens now. Hey man, I told you I needed some Kush, man. This is some stress. What the hell you trying to do here, man? I paid for what I paid for. I need to get what I'm supposed to get. That's how you do it.
Fuck you say, little nigga? What? I must be hard of hearing or something, because I know you ain't just asked me for no motherfucking refund, exchange, nothing like that. We don't do that shit around here. Straight up, homie. Fuck on down the road with that bullshit. What you got to say now?
Hey, you know where the good stress blunts is? Get the fuck out of here.
Streets know it and my hood know I'm true.
Now look, I love Big O, right? That's the one who had. Look, it took me almost 2 or 3 hours to get him to be threatening like that. So I like throwing that because he kept saying, I said, man, I need you to be real menacing and stuff. And he'd go through his line. He's like, man, I can't talk like that, bro. But why I showed that to everyone is that if you believe in something, don't be scared of or fear what somebody may think if you're trying to be creative. Somebody will say, oh, that's what you're gonna do this and that, and it's called putting doubt in you. Next thing you know, you fear for what's going to be like, or what, you should never be afraid of something, especially Spirit of God put something in your heart to do.
I mean, I think there's a such thing as a healthy fear. You know what I mean? Like like parenting. You always gonna fear if you making the right choices because there's no handbook for it, and we make mistakes because it's just a part of life. So I mean, it's a healthy fear. It's not stopping me from being a good parent or trying your best. What's up, Richie? But
He said, he said, scared money, no money. Yeah.
facts though, scared money ain't making no money. That is facts.
Well, you see, now I'm gonna ask you something. Now, I want to take this last part. You've seen how I want people to see how when we came up with different ideas, even with Cynthia, she didn't know what the people would feel like about her book. Fight lives in the heart of a survivor. She's so patient that she can't let me get away with fight lives. She's such a heart. But fight lives in the heart of a survivor. Now, when she wrote this, she could have been at the time where this is something where she's went through.
I mean, I was scared when I wrote this
Yeah.
because number one, it's part of my journey, it's my story, it's real life. So you fear it, but I think what got over my fear more was who I can help, who can benefit from it. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't say something, it can't be rectified. Like it's going to continue to be a cycle. So, and let me just say also about this book, there is a paperback version. They don't have to do the Kindle version. So if you want to actually buy the actual paperback version, that's also available. You just click paperback on there and you can get that version. But yeah, there is a fear. That's why I said it's a healthy fear. Because although I was fearful of writing the book and putting myself out there and letting people like learn about some of my struggles,
yes,
it was healthy and it was needed and necessary for me to, kind of take it by the horns, if you will, and do what was necessary with it.
Yes, I understand. That makes sense. Now, let me ask you a question now. Have you ever ran across a situation like, okay, one time I was on a bus, city bus, I was hit, and I got into a conversation. First, Richie wrote in, fear will keep you alive, scared will get you killed.
Facts.
Fear will
Because
keep you alive,
a
scared will
scared
get you
person
killed.
will kill you.
Yes.
No, that's facts.
Yeah. Now,
thank you, Sugarfoot.
Yeah. Their show, they put a lot of between his show, they'll be back on in January. They always take off the month of December / show. If anybody, you can always go back and check out our shows.
Right.
On YouTube, you go on Facebook and stuff like that. I've been noticing we get more people watching the shows that we've been talking about, especially that pansexual. That one had me cracking up. I'm not lying. It's a very good episode. Have you ever been? One time I was on a bus, and we get to speaking on some subject about how something that was affecting the Black community,
Okay.
and this older guy said, "Hey, this is not the time to talk about that." So I'm looking at him like, "What? You got a flyer when we supposed to talk about it?
Right.
Was you scared?" Well, they've been pondering in me for a minute, for about a few months. Has been pondering me why. Today, this morning, and I'm gonna tell anybody, please look at this movie called The Night in Miami. It's called.
What is it on? Like what? Where would they find it? Netflix.
Well, I found mine on just a Fire Stick, so
okay.
I just looked it up, but it's called the Night in Miami. It's a true story.
Okay.
Of Muhammad Ali. He was Cassius Clay, and he had just won the heavyweight championship from Sonny Liston. So he hadn't changed his name yet, but he is on the verge of announcing his acceptance to being a Muslim.
Okay.
And on this particular night is Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown, because Jim Brown was the commentator for the fight, okay. Malcolm X, and Sam Cooke. Oh my goodness. Look, this one night, and this is, I think it's 1967 or 68, the conversations is still based on what we're going through right now. This is 2022. And sometimes it's the battles are within ourselves. Richie King always says a scenario. I like, he got two, when I talk to people, I can pick up stuff from other people and make, if it makes sense, there's two statements he always states. And if I was to do a quote book, those two of his quotes is, you never have to, don't be ashamed of funny. If it's a joke and if it's funny, you know what I'm saying? But he always say this statement of, do not be a slave to your own culture. When you abroad in other countries, if you and I and Americans, and Dean Cerny was here, and they consider us Americans, and they sum us up to be considered one culture. Just like when people come from Mexico, we consider them as what? Mexicans. And when we deal with Mexicans, we thinking of tacos and burritos as their food of choice, and bright colors, and with the hats and the big buckles. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's their culture. Richie said, I'm writing a book about a fat man who fell in love at Taco Bell. It's very spicy.
Rich, listen, I will read the shit out that book.
Yeah, hey, he said, that's just saying, don't apologize for funny. See, why we brought this up, there's a lot of people who are scared. And we're saying in our subject, facing your fears. Running from your fears won't solve nothing. And that's what he said right here. Fear will keep you alive. Scared will get you killed.
Because you know what? Fear means you give a damn. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you know me, there must be another, deaf word or something, because only one I fear is God, because he can destroy my body and soul.
Yeah, see, you taking it literal. It's not always a literal standpoint.
Oh, I see. I know what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah. Because I mean, we know the Almighty does. That's the you know what I mean. Like,
yeah, you're right. Because when I'm getting ready to go on the stage,
right,
I have
that's the healthy fear.
Anxiety. We call it anxiety, but that's fear. It falls in the fear category. Yes, you're right.
Like you said, it all falls in the same category: fear, anxiety, depression. It all kind of is in that alignment somewhere.
Yeah, but we had brought up on the subject Tuesday. We was talking about Daniel, right? We was talking about Daniel. Richie talking about he wants to come on and stuff. You come on, bro. But I want to bring up this about Daniel because we didn't elaborate. We talked about how Daniel had decreed not to pray, right? Well, I stopped that when the lions were starved 3 to 4 days before they threw Daniel in there, right? And the lions didn't eat Daniel. But I was talking to my mother earlier before the show, and she brought up the scenes that the 3 dudes who accused Daniel, when they seen that the lions didn't eat Daniel, the king said, well, get the accusers and throw them in there at the lions. And the lions ate everything. They ate the bones. You feel they ate all 3 of them guys.
Right.
Didn't do nothing to Daniel because the truth was with Daniel.
Right.
But the lies, look, man, I didn't even get to announce you. I know you the head producer. He just pops up in the show and stuff with a black screen.
But I'm the redneck pimp coming through.
Yeah, but he ain't copped through. I'm gonna put him in the background until I see his face showing up. He just popped in like, hey,
I'm in here.
Now he wants to come on and explain. There you go. He's on that and stuff. No, he's still not. He's freezing. When you get your stuff and stuff
I think you want to
together,
talk about that book
he
about the
said, I'm
family.
going to come on and explain. He wants to talk about the fear. Waiting for him to come on and get his camera right. He done shut all their switches and everything down because they out for a month. Now he's trying to turn some stuff.
I'm taking a month off too from my show.
And see, fear don't discriminate. See, facing our fears, that's what we're saying. We face our fears. When I was a teenager at Wichita State, I lie you not, we would get real tipsy. And then I would go to my apartment. Me and my roommate, we shared a duplex apartment together and stuff. And I would watch scary movies late at night with all the lights out.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to do that until I seen one particular movie, and I ain't into that. The Ring shook me out and all that, like Land of the Living Dead and all that. That didn't bother me, but The Ring.
Yeah, The Ring got me good.
Yeah, when that girl came out the well and started crawling towards the screen, you sitting there like, where's she going? But when that girl came out the TV, I flipped lights on and everything. No.
Look, you know what? You gonna say y'all, me and my homeboy, we get real tipsy. That means drunk. That just means y'all got drunk.
Yeah. And he keeps doing that where his things come up. When I see you live in the back, it may not meant for you to be. It's not me doing it. It's a white screen. Everybody can see it. I see him. We trying to bring him in, and they just got him. They like, nah. You know the Roy Anthony show. You gotta look. The government make sure you go out and go through.
So you ain't gonna get to tell us nothing.
Hey, they be screening people before you come on this show and stuff for real. They got him on the background. He can't get because he done turned all the switches off until January. Hey, look here. Anybody, if you scared, oh now he done came in another way. That's where he's messing up. He's trying to come on another way. But anyway, when Richie figures that out, we're gonna bring him in. He got 8 more minutes to try to show up. Oh, there you go. Look like he's moving. Oh, you stuck again. Look, every time I try to bring him in, it ain't me. We wasting our time trying to be
right.
Anybody who's listening to this, just
keep it moving. No.
Believe in what you're doing. A scared man never wins. That's what I was taught as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
When you fighting and stuff, I was told just do it. Nike used to have that saying, just do it. I've seen people say, oh, I want to do a podcast, and they make it seem like you got to build up. And I tell you, just do it.
Just do it.
We in our 5th season. Me and Big Hank used to be awkward at first. We didn't know, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? What should we say? And then we said, you know what? Because a lot of people don't understand, inhibitions is a fear. If you have inhibitions to speak or tell somebody something, that's still a fear.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll make excuses to not tell somebody something by saying, well, it's just going to hurt their feelings. I'm not going to say nothing. And my best friends tell me exactly sometimes things I don't want to hear.
That's what a friend looks like.
That's what they good, bad. If you feel like, he said, never mind, no signals. See, everybody knows he's saying it out from the mouth.
Okay.
Even kids, if you think there's something you can do, because sometimes, and a lot of business people know that their kids didn't come up thinking business like you did, or want to be this or that. You know, you have to, and so I will tell anybody, if you older person, even if you're elderly, I was telling my mother, she's an RN and she retired from teaching at the college. And I'm telling her, just started you a podcast.
Yeah.
Nursing scenarios with Nurse Rosie. She's really good. She can teach certain things.
Right.
And stuff, what to expect. Because sometimes doctors know we don't know what a hoopaloopa is and all that. It seems like your apparatus is what? What is that? saying something we don't know.
All right. No, I feel you.
We got people watching us around. I just found out some people watching us. We watched around the United States and other countries. Then they share it on and everything. And the thing is, we come on here not fearful. So people may
I had
say,
a healthy fear.
I beg your pardon?
I said I had a healthy fear. But
what was your healthy fear?
Huh?
What was your healthy fear?
Of not being too blunt. I am my grandmother used to tell me that I'm over opinionated and that I say too much truth and everybody can't take that. So I sometimes am fearful. I'm mad you're gonna throw this book. I'm sometimes fearful of what I'm gonna say. That don't mean I don't say it, but it's still that background fear, it's that noise.
Well, I think that's called wisdom because now you are conscious about some of the things you may say, so you straighten it up, but you never said you ain't gonna say it.
Right.
You're just gonna say it in a more correctly way.
Right. I'm gonna try to make sure I say it appropriate.
Now, I think that's right because some things I've noticed that people won't say something to somebody. I've seen people like a bullying somebody.
Yeah.
And that person won't speak back up because they fear of retaliation and all this and all that. But if you don't say nothing, it's going to keep on occurring. Have you ever heard that? You better say something now.
Yeah.
If you don't, it's going to keep on going on.
People can't do what they don't know. And if you don't know better, you can't do better. So, I mean, yeah, I definitely heard that.
Yeah. Now, what I don't like is when people takes on the fear of situations like television.
What you read?
Richie wrote, but what it means.
Fear makes you pay
So
attention.
you read it out. You see it.
But what it means, fear makes you pay attention, focus, and such scare. You start shaking, hesitate, overreact, and such. That's true.
Okay, then we have my man GZDR
Doctor Forever. I told my boss I needed a week off to take a mental health break. Good job. My boss told me to man up. He disrespectful because there are other people who want my job. Well, give it to him. I craved and told him. I caved and told him, okay, I won't take time off. What would you do? What does it mean to be a man this day and time versus the past? Okay, okay, I'm gonna let you fully address it because I'm not a man. But what I do want to say is, don't never let nobody take away from your mental health. Money is never worth your mental health. If you truly in your heart feel like you just having too much, let them give your job to somebody else. They'll realize they need you. You don't need the job. It's not like that. I get we all have bills. You know what I mean? But your health is more important because if you dead, your bills are gonna get paid anyway. You know what I mean?
It's hard to tell somebody not your job.
No, not really.
That sounds like me a medical leave. That falls into a medical leave scenario.
But that's a real thing. Jobs actually have to give you mental health days.
Yeah, but I'm just saying is he said he needed a week off to take a mental
health break.
Break. Now, see, the boss here is being opinionated because that's a health situation.
Sure is.
If he had to take a surgery, some people look at a medical situation, you break your arm or you crack your back or something. But our brain and the way we think, because if he's not aware of that, then next thing you know, they wondering why this man came into the office, wowing everybody.
But they can he can file a civil suit against that boss because mental health is a thing.
But he caved in. See,
but he caved in because this boss.
No, look, I feel like he breaking up on this subject because he had the fear of losing his job. He caved because his boss just told him, see, this is where he put in fear.
Right. Somebody else to get your job.
Yeah, he said, my boss told me to man up because there are other people who want your job. Now, This guy is uncensored because if it happened to the boss and let something happen to him or something, see, he wants everybody to accept. Now, what he did was he threw in fear. Instead of encouraging my man, he said, or the person, man, he said he caved. He said, I caved and told him, okay, I won't take it off.
Because of the fear of losing his job.
Losing your job.
He got bills to pay. I get it.
But see, look, this is the fear. That compounds fear. What do I do now? If I would have went and lost my job,
I will call unemployment and let them know a situation, and I will see if I can get temporary unemployment. I will go to my doctor and have them write paperwork that says I'm gonna have a mental breakdown and I need this week off for work. Like, there's ways around. It's just the paperwork that you got to do behind.
Well, one of the things is that he came to his boss with trust. Now, you got to build up a relationship. For anyone, because me personally would have got upset when you tell me to man up.
Yeah, that was disrespectful.
To me, that's disrespectful.
That was.
What you trying to say? I'm not manning up.
Right.
Because you ain't doing what I'm doing and stuff like that. See, a bully is a person who tells somebody, a man up. See, this is a person who's in a position who tells somebody else, oh, you need to man up. And not knowing what type of person he is, his wife may be slapping him around the house, but he coming and telling somebody to G.I. Joe it. Now, what happens is, see, this brother right here came in, at least asked that I have a situation. Now, it's embarrassing. He could have said, hey, man, I'm going to have surgery. He could have lied for a medical reason, if anybody's understand. He could have lied about it. But when you feel to be open, especially with the person who's paying your income, you open up to them and you tell them that is more mentally stressed. Bro, this is a job that and before you quit that job, you make sure you find another job and then you give them your time up, because this is one of the main reasons why you should find another spot. I remember one time we read this thing and this guy's jobs was so serious, like if you was to die, at least let the company know 3 days ahead of time. This is a company now you need to start looking at elsewhere. These are signs and stuff for you to start trying to find other work, because now what if it's something really, not only of your mental state, but your family or your child is hurting too. What is manning up when you talking about a mental situation? That's one gets me. The military don't even deal with that. They give them the guys who's transitioning and being citizens from being in the military. We just had Randy Walters. They're giving them medicines.
Right.
God mean, man up. Hey, bro, it's time for you to try to find another position. Don't quit your job. Don't quit your job. Find your other one, and then you give them. There's been companies I didn't give no 2 weeks notice.
Not if you found something already.
He asked me, "Can you come on in?" Yeah, I got you. This man came to the man and told them, and hey, bro, thank you for trusting us with it, because I'm giving you
absolutely.
Don't cave it in. And the more I read this guy's stuff, he's an honest person.
And to be honest, most of the time they be selling them wolf tickets, telling you somebody else won't get your job or whatever. Don't nobody want them jobs because number one, they ain't paying enough, and people don't want to work no more.
Well,
so
this
don't
guy,
let nobody scare you. You know what I'm
he's
saying?
Like, what he saw. What you do is you look for another job.
Period.
You play the role now. You look for another job. The other job hires you. You tell them, take it a week before you start.
He can start tomorrow.
Take this job and shove it. And now man up. When he comes to you talking about, hey man, what you quitting? You tell him, man up, man. You've been in a relationship that done broke up before. Man up. You've been in this position for a reason. I'm out of here. Because that's how they try to keep us all bound out of fear. I got a call from my brother talking about this mid-election going to change the way we thinking. Wait, I'm like, dude, I heard this same stuff when December the 31st of 1999 came in. Oh my God. Oh, you better stock up on water. The computer systems is going to go like the world. We heard it during the quarantine. Oh, the land of the zombies. Oh, they said quarantine. Get the water. What do you think is going to come out? Zombies? Look, bro, let me tell you something. This is true before we get up out of here. You find you another job. You're on a mission now. You find you another job. Don't be snotty. Be one of the best employees right now. Think positive, because when you have a mental health situation, means depression and everything. Think positive, because this job is what's probably causing you to have mental health situations. Because when a person talks to you like that, and it seems like when you work at a job, you're giving 40 to 50 hours of your life, and making your woke time to somebody who you try to build a rapport with, but this person tells you, man up. And there's other people now, that's a threat. And that's like, oh, so now you got yourself bottled up, and then that's compounding the stress. Now what you do is you find another job, you shake it off. Say, God, or you pray, if you're a praying person, or think positive. You go find you another job, apply for every type of position. And then when you so they set the date and say, hey, sir, you start July the 2nd. You fill out your paper. You start July the 2nd. You tell this guy, shove it. Then you go and take your mental health stuff and get everything right. So now your new beginning of life, your next chapter in life is starting. Because the way to conquering any problem is to realize there's a problem. A lot of people won't say they got mental problems, bro, or they need a week for mental health check. I congratulate you, because I can't even tell somebody I broke my arm.
Go to sleep.
Real. I had a broke kneecap. I ain't tell nobody that. Hey, why you limping? But that's courageous to be able to say that. And then you go to somebody with a confidant and they won't sing sympathy. That means they have nothing else about you. That's the stress part.
Yeah, just get you another job, honey love.
Yeah. And read, and look, I tell anybody, please go to, let me do this one more time. Please go on Amazon, get this book. You're talking to a woman who was 31. She had a stroke. And she wrote a book and still fighting. And she's been an inspiration. I didn't know so many young people have had strokes. Till I
we help
them up. And she lives by the book. Cynthia, look it up on Amazon. Cynthia Joi Towner, Strength in You. Fight lives in the heart of a survivor. Yeah. Hey man, that brother who wrote that, if that fight lives in you. And he says sometimes it's a generational thing. This new generation is soft. Now, it's not about that. It's just that we ain't going to sit up there and break our backs for a nickel and don't have no
facts. That's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, they already cutting Social Security. So we're going to talk about that and stuff for real. Because look, just real quick, and we're going to talk on that. We're
going to talk about it.
Yeah, we sure are. But this is December the 1st. 2022. Don't fear no man. I don't care what their job position was, whatever. Don't fear no man, because he can only destroy your body. Only one I'm gonna fear is God, who can destroy my body and soul. I'm not talking out the side of my neck, because I've been through everything and everything.
And don't fear situations. They meant to strengthen you. So use the situations that you go through to strengthen you and fuel your fire, and keep going, baby.
And see, keep going. Look, some people be like, "Oh, before we shut off, the biggest fear is change." Some people won't progress because they won't let that door shut and open up the new door, because of the fear of the unknown. Change is unknown. Start a new company, meet new people. How will they accept me? Will they like me? Will they put me part of the thing? Man, you don't worry about that. Worry about first do I make enough to pay my bills? Because the biggest fear is the unknown. I tell people when you said I'm scared, that's because that's an emotion of something you can't control that's coming. So you scared, and your mind give you all types of, oh, they're gonna be like this, oh, they're gonna, and that'll make you crazy. I'm the type of person, I accept it as it is. Like the French say, que sera, sera, what will be, will be. And y'all have a blessed, wonderful weekend, first week of the month. I know some of them people's out there partying right now, those who depend on the government. I don't. It's the first of the month.
I wish.
Get your checks and come on.
I'm about to go pay my car note.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, look, I don't care, man. When I get my check, I got my checks on the 12th, 13th, and nobody say nothing. Dr. David Hoyer, brother, that's Native American. Y'all saying that. See y'all later. Never say goodbye. God bless.
Holla back then, Richie.
What you say?
I said, holla back then, Richie. I didn't know that's what that meant. So
Dr. David Hoyer means we'll see you later. Never mean to say goodbye. They don't say goodbye. CEO is Native American saying hello, but Donna Dago Hoy means that and I see you again. They never say
okay, I'll holler back. I'll see you again on Tuesday, boo.
Roy Anthony out of here, Cynthia Joi. Oh, Big Hank, we back here next week.
Hey, is this thing on?
All right.
Can you hear me? Is anybody out there? Hey, tune in. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony